Yeah, I guess Paul, how would you describe the emotions of a game like that?
Challenging. Um, I thought, we were unfortunate to let the game slip away like it did in those, few moments where we lost our lead and thought we bounced back really well from that. Credit to the team I think that's been our calling card all year is, finding moments to be resilient like that. And we found a way to get back in the game. And I think we were all feeling pretty confident going into the shootout. Um, we knew Andrew was going to make a few saves for us. And I haven't been a part of a shootout in a while that goes that far, all the way down to the goalkeeper. So, yeah, tough way to go out. Tough way to go out.
All right, next question will go over to Maz Vida. Maz, go ahead and ask yours, please.
Yeah, I'll go ahead, Albert, since Paul answered the first one. Just if you can, I know emotions are raw, just the suddenness, of that game and the notion that your season is done. Can you speak a little bit to that? I know emotions are raw right now.
Yeah, it feels you know just doesn't feel right because of many things. Um, we we went a man up today, had control of the game, and yeah, somehow found ourselves down 3-2 and fighting just to equalize it. I think we're really good. We are a really good team, and when you go a man up in a playoff game on the road, and you have a lead when it happens, it's just no way you can let the other team score 2 goals to take a lead. I had the easiest chance probably of all season to put it away 3-1, hit the post. And then the game, we get equalized the last minute. It goes to PKs. Again, we had 2 PKs to win the game. And I don't know why, but it just right now it feels like it wasn't meant to be. And as you said, the emotions are raw, so it's hard to really identify why. But that's how it feels. I think Andrew on the first PK when he saved it broke his finger or dislocated it. It's just it's a lot of things, and you combine all those, and right now we found ourselves that the season's over. But yeah, it doesn't feel right. We also feel like we haven't lost to them in 3 games, and we're out of playoffs, so it's tough.
Thanks.
All right, we're going to go to freelance reporter for the Seattle Times, who's currently in the room in Minnesota. Heather, go ahead, please.
You mentioned didn't feel like it was meant to be, and this is for either of you. Just with the you mentioned too hitting the crossbar, potentially go up 3-1. Crossbar was a factor a couple other times too with the PKs. What was that part of maybe just that feeling like this wasn't meant to be? I mean, was it? It was just the margin was that small. I mean, how tough was it to just kind of keep going and know that you weren't out of it till the very end?
I think sports are won on really fine margins, and we lost in the margins tonight. And that especially hurts given how long the season has been, and where we've come from as a team since the start of the year. Being part of the team last year and this year, I feel like we're a better team. We've played some great football this year. And yeah, I mean, sometimes sports can just go that way. I think we felt in our hearts, and we believed that we were the better team, and obviously we're not the team moving on, and that really hurts. I've got to give credit to how they stifled us in some moments too. You know, they've found a way to get the better of us a couple times this year, and that's definitely going to be some fuel for us the next time, you know, when we play them next year. And yeah, it hurts right now because that's 10 months of work that's just gone after a few moments.
All right, George, you're up next. Go ahead with your question, please.
Albert, I know this feels really raw right now, but watching the game, it seemed like there was nothing else that you guys could have done. It felt like you guys left it all on the field. I wondered if you agree with that, or if you think that there might have been something that in hindsight you could have done different. And then Paul, Messi just renewed his contract with Inter Miami. So can we have Paul Rothrock again with the Sounders next season? I think you have some unfinished business here that we'd like to see you complete.
So yeah, your first question. No, I mean, as far as you know, there's no such thing as question and effort in any game. So you know, we're not gonna sit here and say, oh, you know, the effort was there. I feel like that's just first and foremost that has to be there, and it was there. But even as far as tactics after the first game in the series, you know, we tweaked some things, and in a short amount of time, changed a little bit in how we want to attack, especially against Minnesota, to create more chances. And you know, that kind of resulted in 7 goals in the next 2 games. So as far as that goes, you know, the work that we've put in and the tactics that coaches gave us and our video analysis, you know, what they saw in the video and how to break them down, we actually applied that in a game and did it really well. So even today, you know, on road, scored 3 goals in a playoff game. So yeah, I mean, we left it all out there. Yes, there were mistakes, but that is just part of the game. Mistakes happened, and you know, and I'm sure a few moments of that game today, if I could have back, or you know, anybody else that knows how the game went, yes, we would want those, you know, moments back. But it's easy to sit here now and be like, you know, yeah, should have done that, should have done that. So yeah, no, I mean, I'm proud of the group, proud of everybody, what we did. Although it, as I said, it doesn't feel right that we lost the way we did this whole series. But yeah, I'm sure it will, you know, it will hurt for a day, 2, you know, maybe 3. But then, you know, we're gonna have to regroup and, you know, have an off season and get better next year. That's ultimately all we can do, you know, is improve from this year and try and do better next year, you know, and go again and go to win another trophy. Because, you know, that's what this club is about.
Yeah, and then to respond to your question, you know, I don't want to make this moment about myself. I think, you know, those conversations will continue over the next couple of weeks, and you know, I've made it clear that my desire is to stay here. But you know, I'd prefer not to speak on that right now, just given the emotion. And, you know, I want to keep the focus on what we've done as a team this year and as a group. This has been a special group. You know, scored the most goals ever as a Sounders team in a year. You know, won a trophy. There's been some great moments this year, some real highs. Several players I think have had unbelievable individual seasons. But yeah, this one hurts. You know, in my head, we were going all the way and winning 2 trophies this year, and it's going to take a little while to have that settle in that's not going to happen.
All right, we'll take one more, and we'll take it from Felipe Makeda. Felipe, please go ahead.
Thank you, Alex. This question is for Albert. Albert, like Paul Rothrock just mentioned, that all the season had up and downs. This series of games had everything, intensity, big emotions. This last series of penalties was incredible. But at the end, the team is out. What is the message that you give to the fans that were with the team during the whole season?
Honestly, I feel like our fans are, they feel exactly the same as we do right now. We wanted another, not just another playoff game, but maybe have another home match at Lumen this year. Because I feel like we made that place, really special again, and really hard for other teams to come in and do anything. So if anything, we try to get another home game. But yeah, I mean, the support has been incredible, whether it's been at Lumen or on road. Even today, there's a small number of fans that we saw with the green jerseys, and we could hear them, and it's not a short trip. So even if it's, we don't care about how many, but even if you see a few, it's it gives you that little bit of extra, and we needed that this series, and we got it. Whether it was in game 2 at home, coming off a loss in the first one in the shootout again, or today, So yeah, the support's been incredible. It always has been. So I can speak on behalf of everybody, every player, and it's just a big thank you, honestly, to everyone. And then I'm sure they're gutted just as we are. It's too soon after a game, to kind of say a farewell message to the fans, or kind of have a few sentences to sum up the whole year. It's I'm sure we'll do that. Whether it's on social media or at the facility, however it's going to go down. But yeah, right now, all we can say is thank you.